Okay, let's go ahead and finish up here real quick. We'll be done in about another 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're on your way to, if you have not already gotten your ID card or your parking decal, you can do that after we finish here in a couple of minutes. And then we're done for the day, and Mark Trowan and I will see you probably next week. Okay, so last couple of courses to just sort of mention. The 2 online courses, I've given you the generic syllabi for those courses, the ones that are available online, so that at least you know what books to buy. The more comprehensive syllabi will be sent out by the instructors at least 1 to 2 weeks prior to that class beginning, okay? So you will get an updated version of the syllabus, but at least there, if you want to go ahead and buy all of your books now and that sort of thing, you can go ahead and do so. Just to give you a quick kind of overview of what those classes sort of involve, if it's not, somewhat clear. The market analysis course is primarily, if you want to think about it, how you go about collecting key pieces of information about the real estate market. Where do you go to get rental rates? Where do you go to get occupancy rates for different property types? Looking at sub-markets within markets and how those impact what effectively the feasibility would be on a project, because, once again, not to get too much into the details, but think about it like this. If we simply said, in Fort Lauderdale, the average apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment might go for, $800 a month, what is that really telling us? That's telling us an average. That's not telling us, clearly there are apartments in Fort Lauderdale that lease for dollar amounts dramatically higher than that. There are apartments that lease for dramatically lower than that, okay? And, so being able to really segment out the market and really get down to the relevant information of what sector, what niche is going to be, the data is going to be applicable to the project that you're trying to evaluate, that's really where this market analysis class comes into play. Does that make sense? Okay. The Argus developer class, or I think called real estate development sort of software course, this is one of 2 Argus programs. And you probably have heard of Argus, maybe at some point or another. This particular software package, Argus Developer, is really targeted toward what developers need, which is understanding sensitivity analysis, okay? Understanding what-if scenarios of what if interest rates go up, what if interest rates go down, what if cap rates go up, what if cap rates go down. How is that going to translate into effectively the cash flows that are going to be generated not only by that project, but what are going to be the flow-through effects to the rates of return of the investors that are in that project. And so the Argus Developer software does a lot of things that Excel doesn't inherently do, or does them in a much more streamlined kind of already kind of pre-packaged way that is comparable among different sort of users of that software. So it's a great piece of software. We're also going to be using what is called Argus DCF or Argus Enterprise Discounted Cash Flow, and that will be another course that will be offered later in the program. But this one is the one that if you're really wanting to get into like deal structures and sensitivity analyses, that sort of thing on projects, the Argus Developer software, that's what it's all about. Okay. Now I've already mentioned a little bit about my course, the strategy course that will take place in the second half of the fall term. And as I said, it's really going to be all about bringing in experts and having them share information with you. So in the sense of, as you know, you've heard today, there's all this reading that you're going to have to do for this class or for that class, and these papers and projects and that sort of thing. For my class, it's probably going to be one of the more straightforward of, you're going to come to class, you're going to listen to these folks, you're going to write up effectively summaries of what they had to say with your insights included in that you're going to then post up to a written blog. You're also going to have these opportunities of going to these different conferences, also writing those things up, and the international study tour and writing these things up. So there's really, in one sense, in my course, not really going to be any outside reading that you're going to have to do. It's really going to be, you have to be there to experience it. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? Yes. Okay, now, that pretty much, I think, takes us through this semester in terms of the instructors and the, obviously the course materials. I think you should be pretty much good to go on what you need to know before you show up next week for your first day of class. As I said, be watching for emails from me and from your instructors. And if you came in a little bit late, realize that is the only way we have to get a hold of you, and I cannot say that enough. You know, the excuse of, oh, well, I couldn't log in because of this. You need to get that fixed if you have that problem right now, okay? Because otherwise you're going to be lost as to where to go and what to do. And whenever I purposely, me personally, don't send you a lot of emails unless it is really important to do so. I don't fill up your inbox with a lot of useless information. Usually if I send you an email, there is a very specific reason I'm sending you that email, and if I ask for a response, I want a response as timely as you can possibly do it. And I'm sure the other instructors feel the same way. We're not in the business of wanting to send you a lot of extraneous stuff, you know, via email, so please, 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 try to realize that the reason we're doing these things is to get the information that we need to be able to do the things that obviously are going to help you out, okay? And with that, if there are any other sort of final questions before we kind of close everything out and see you next week. We good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If any of you, one more thing, if any of you are interested in attending that Latin American conference in October, go ahead and fill out the sheet that I gave you, and I will go ahead and get you registered for that. If you are not going to go, don't fill it out, okay? Because it's costing us a lot of money to send you, so I don't want to waste any registrations. Then don't do it yet.
Yeah, I don't even know.
All I can say is, and you know, I will do what I can Jeanette will help you out with the parking pass and IDs as to where to go and what to do. Okay. So yeah, just give me your information and then I'll make sure you register. Yeah, just give me, do I, and I have all the other information? Well, just whatever mailing address you want.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to meet you. No, we won't handle that until okay, absolutely.
Take care. Good talk.
Excuse me, folks. I just want to make one other comment. If I could have your attention. Thank you. I had a question asked to me, and I always love questions being asked. The assignment for next week, choose any developer. It doesn't have to be in Miami-Dade or Broward. anybody who has sparked your imagination in any way, shape, or form, and the why for it. And if you don't know anybody, then I guess you're going to have to figure it out.
Is there one in here? Hold
All
on.
of you know someone that gave you that.
Oh, that's somebody's
packet.
packet?
Here today.
Just
Okay? Great. Thank
Email
you.
me.
Picked in and do what?
It's not, just email me. Okay.
The only problems would be anything from travel, all
This is the front of the building, we're gonna go to some.
Nice meeting all of you. Okay, take care. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Are you serious about objective exam? Objective sessions exam?
I do all kinds of different, all my three different classes in the program. And I have different kinds of exams. So, some are, sort of true false, some are written, there's all kinds of,
Okay then.
relax.
Okay then.
You do your work, you're gonna do just fine.
Okay then, good. I think I'm missing.
Okay?